friends, I have a fun story for us today. It's called The Best Story. The author's name is Eileen Spinelli, and the illustrator is Ann Wilsdorf. The Red Brick Library was having a contest. Write the best story, win first prize. First prize was a ride on the Super Duper Looper roller coaster with my favorite author, Ann Miles, who wrote the Runaway roller coaster. Wow, first prizes don't get any better than that. I ran home, I went to my room, I shut the door, I sharpened 5 pencils, I opened my notebook to a brand new page, and I thought and thought and thought, and all I could think was this writing stuff was hard and lonely. Maybe I needed some help. I told my brother Tim about the contest. The best stories, said my brother Tim, have lots of action. So I wrote lots of action into my story. I wrote about the bus hurtling down the highway with no one at the wheel. I added a tornado and a pirate and a great white shark. But the story didn't seem quite right. So I asked my dad, and he said the best stories had plenty of humor. So I changed the great white shark to a monkey, and I put the monkey at the wheel of the bus, and I turned the tornado into turnips, and I dressed the pirate in polka-dotted pajamas. My dad laughed so hard that he popped a button off of his shirt. Even so, the story didn't feel quite right either. Along came Aunt Jane. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm writing a story, the best story, for a contest at the library. I can win a roller coaster ride with my favorite author." "Oh, well then," said Aunt Jane, "here's all you need to know. The best stories are the ones that make people cry." Look at Aunt Jane. It's quite an outfit. So I gave the bus a flat tire. I sent the monkey to the funeral of his pet goldfish. I turned the turnips into onions, and I made the pirate chop every one. There were lots of tears, but the story still wasn't right. My teenage cousin Anika said, "I have news for you. If it's not romantic, then it's a loser." So the pirate introduced the monkey to his sister Grace, and they fell in love. And I turned the onions into wedding invitations, and everyone lived happily ever after. Finally, my story was ready, so I read it to my family. "Not enough action," said my brother Tim. "Maybe the monkey can fall into the wedding cake," said my dad. "That would be really funny." "It's hard to cry at a wedding when the groom's a monkey," said Aunt Jane. Annika said that it would be perfect if I added a kiss. And all this time, my mother hadn't said a word, so I asked her, "What do you think is the best story?" She gave me a hug. "I think the best story is the one that comes from your heart, your own heart." That night after supper, I looked into my own heart and rewrote my story. No monkey, no more pirate, no more wedding invitations, and no more happily ever after. My new best story is about my family and my 2 best friends, Tara and Josh. It's about my cat, Ollie, who sleeps on his back, and snow days, and toast with strawberry jam. It's about fireworks and rainbows and bike rides. My biggest problem was keeping the story short. Once I started pulling things out of my heart, it was hard to stop. When my story was finished, I turned it in to the judges. Maybe I'll win that roller coaster ride with Ann Miles, and maybe I won't. Either way, I'll be happy, and I'll be a winner because the story I wrote is my own and not somebody else's, and that makes it the best. Oh, I couldn't agree more. What a great story. I love that everyone's story would be different, right? Of all the things that were important to them. Until next time, explorers.